resolve them moving forward. We were talking about vulnerability and the fact that crying is still not socially accepted. So how much damage have older generations done by telling us as kids that we should not cry because adults don't cry? Well, the absurd cliches that have been forged around this and the pressure of thousands of children, adolescents and men that have received and are receiving are still continuing to hide their feelings out of shame, fear, or just simply because no one explained them that emotions are inherent to human beings and they do not understand age, skin color, religion, nationality, or sex. In fact, if you pay attention to reality shows, TV, or any film prior to 2016, or most of the films directed and produced by men nowadays, they blame a kid for not being mature when this kid cries. We blame a woman for being too emotional, for even tearing up. Or we attack women saying that they are on their period. First of all, how can a man judge something he will never experience or understand? I can only think of saying back to them, yeah, hormones are real for men and for women, and whatever they make me, whereas that is to cry, laugh, or be sensitive, those are all valid feelings with a reason behind them. It's just so stupid because a man can react, but a woman can only overreact. Tyler Swift said, a man stands up for himself, but a woman throws a temper tantrum. Yeah, when adults don't cry anymore, and by anymore I mean in public, because I'm sure they cry in private. It is because they've been told since they were kids that toughen up, because they need to stop showing emotions. What a quick way to set your kids to trauma, right? Because when they grow up and then get upset, they are more likely to have problems regulating their emotions down the track. As with everything, it is our job to teach our children how to process their emotions in a healthy way. And I'm sorry if this affects what you've known all your life, but emotions have nothing to do with gender, because we all experience them. Emotions are valid for all humans. I cannot repeat it enough. Crying is okay. It's very healthy and necessary way for everybody to express their feelings. By telling kids or women not to cry, we are saying their feelings are not important or valid. For example, in Happiness is Here blog, I read 10 things we can tell our kids when they cry. 1. It is okay to be sad. 2. This is really hard for you. 3. I'm here with you. 4. Tell me about it. 5. I hear you. 6. That was really scary and disappointing or upsetting. 7. I'm listening. 8. I hear that you need a space, so I'll be here when you're ready. 9. It doesn't feel fair. let's not punish or miss the opportunity to connect. The goal is not to make a kid to stop crying or to try to make them happy 100%. The goal is to make them feel understood, listened, supported. Alyssa Milano takes responsibility on how difficult it is for control freaks to let the land go with the flow. But it is possible, saying, I am too old for this, or, at this point in my life. They are only excuses we tell ourselves so we can avoid taking responsibility, or take action, or think and ultimately get hurt when trying to change. And what is growing up if not change to be a better person? Showing emotions were discouraged as a kid, and talking back was a sign of disrespect. But now as an adult, I am healing from that psychological damage, and I will teach my kids, if I ever have some, to tell me how they feel if I do something wrong. I will own it, and I will apologize when they are right or when I am wrong. But going back to vulnerability, Dr. Brené Brown says there is no growth without vulnerability, and we cannot be vulnerable without understanding what shame is, which means vulnerability is not weakness, but our greatest measure of courage. Shame. Oh, there is so much power in letting shame go. Terry Crews says in his book, Tough, feelings of shame are associated with all sorts of awful stuff like depression, uncontrollable anger, and hostility, poor physical health, and being a narcissistic asshole. If my shame is around my appearance, if I have an irrational belief that my body is ugly and I try to hide it as much as possible, that is an unhealthy form of shame. When do shame and narcissism go together? Mark Manson says that narcissism can be based on an irrational belief of superiority, but it can also be based on an irrational sense of inferiority. They may be opposite beliefs on the surface, but the result is the same: an abiding self-centeredness that collapses all perception and empathy into an insatiable egoic self. Like a black hole, narcissist consumes and consumes all the light around them, never itself illuminating or unbordering its intense gravity of despair. This happens commonly with people who worry too much about what other people might think of them if they wear this dress or if they go to the movies alone. Leonardo DiCaprio said once, if you have the power to eat alone at a restaurant or sit alone in a cinema, then you can do anything in life. And before I go, let me just blow your mind with one more thing. No one cares. Stop getting upset if someone has the same dress as you, and don't make fun of it. Laugh instead. When you worry too much about what other people think, you start ignoring yourself. What are you giving up in your life for that perception of others? what would you do differently if everyone who you think they judge you actually supports you? So that's it for today's video. I'll talk more about shame on my following one. I hope you like it.